Welcome to AwakeningYOU channel. We hope you found something here that sparked your interest and assists you in your awakening journey. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Hi all, today the angels talk about mistakes and how perfect we truly are. I'll share some thoughts about the ones I made a few weeks ago, and in a fascinating twist, the angels have me look up the deeper meaning of one of my messages only to see its perfection as I typed this newsletter. You'll find the usual tips too. Enjoy! Have a blessed and beautiful, and perfectly imperfect week, smiley face, and message from the angels. My dear friends, we love you so very much, you are all perfect in our eyes, even as you expand into more. There are no criteria by which we judge, or the divine judges you in heaven. Nothing you can do, think, or say will change our view of you because we know who you are. We see your light, goodness, and the truth you seek. We don't focus on your so-called mistakes or your so-called imperfections. These are ripples on the surface of a deep ocean. These are things that catalyze you to create. We see the love beneath, and only that. What if you were to see yourselves this way? Could you spend an hour of your life assuming you are a perfect being of light having an experience on earth? When you get results that please you, you know you've been tuning according to your desires. When you get results that displease you, it's time to recalibrate. Although this is a simple concept, the challenge is reminding yourself that this is how the universe works when you have all been trained by those who didn't understand. Your life can be so much easier. Is your day flowing? Celebrate, focus on your appreciation for it, and it will flow even more easily. Is your day a comedy of errors? Stop. Breathe. Remind yourself that all you have to do is recalibrate your energy field. What pleases you? Distract yourself for a few moments with enjoyable thoughts. Remind yourself you are doing your best. Take a moment and pause until you feel better. As a result of your recalibration, you'll shift your whole day and enter the flow. The 2 to 5 minutes it takes to focus on a good feeling thought or something you enjoy right in front of you will pay off in hours, days, months, and even lifetimes if you get in the habit. When you feel you've made a mistake, catch yourself when you start to criticize or beat yourself up. Dear ones, you are criticizing the light of God having an experience. Would you scold a child for learning? Would you criticize someone who didn't know better? Would you tell your best friend what you are saying to yourself? Probably not. Be your best friend, dear ones. Talk sweetly to yourself. Recognize that your so-called mistakes are just opportunities, not a cause to feel that you are somehow flawed or lesser than. We understand that you are unlearning old training. Many of you would argue that things can't be so simple simply because you have learned they must be hard. And that is okay, dear ones. You can vent your frustrations to the heavens, and instead of your anger, well, see your passion, desire, and deep, intense love for what you seek to enjoy, experience, and create. In our eyes, you are perfect, ever expanding, and constantly growing. Try, as often as you can, to see yourself that way. God bless you. We love you so very much. The angel's message from Ann. Hi everyone, I had to laugh after channeling this newsletter. A few weeks ago, I made enough mistakes for the next decade. And when I make them, they're not quietly in private in front of a few close friends. I display my screw-ups to nearly 10,000 people worldwide. Thankfully, after working with angels for so long, I've learned to shake my head, figure out how to do better next time, and laugh. Last month I spent 3 days in the company of an enlightened being. The space of absolute and unconditional pure love was pure bliss. I was floating in heaven and barely on earth. I neglected to ground myself afterward and wasn't entirely connected with space and time for the next 2 weeks. I was confused about my interview dates. I woke up each morning and had to ask my phone what day it was. If my client's schedule had not been on paper, I don't know how that would have worked, and I nearly missed an appointment I had been looking forward to. The angels just smiled and reminded me all of life is in a divine flow, that we are all vibrationally matched in some fashion. Their idea of dealing with so-called mistakes is to relax, lighten up, and get on with life. Life has been much lighter since I've adopted their perspective. As soon as I figured out what was happening, I did all my grounding routines, once again connected to Mother Earth, and found my linear brain. But the mistakes continued. I had been too focused on them, so I made more. I got all excited about doing my little printable affirmations and, as a result, queued up my newsletter at 2:30 a.m. the day it was going out a few weeks ago. I ran everything through Grammarly as usual, except the title. As a result, I misspelled angels. You got a message from Ann and the Angels 3 weeks ago. As I write this, my angels are prodding me to look up the word I typed incorrectly. The term Angel, I just discovered, is a variation of the word Agnus or Agnus Dei, which translates to Lamb of God in Latin. It is a common religious symbol often associated with Jesus Christ, representing his sacrificial role in Christian theology. It was also the emblem on a 13th century gold coin with a lamb. So maybe the message 2 weeks ago about being loved and supported was from the angels, JC, and me, and it was all a divine setup. I will never know, but I feel giggles in the field as I type this. I'm still planning to run the titles through Grammarly. I'm sure my days of making mistakes will not be over until I am, at least in this human experience. I've made peace with that. When I mess up, according to my standards, since the angels will never concede and call it that, I stop, look at what I can do better, or move along if it is an honest mistake. Better to be loving than right, as the saying goes. The angels remind me that this also applies to how we treat ourselves. So be easy on yourself. We're all human works in progress as we labor in love to expand the formless love into existence in this reality. Nonetheless, we're all always perfect light in our essence, simply having the human experience. Here are a few pointers to help you treat yourself more kindly when you feel imperfect by human standards. 1. Remind yourself you're not alone. It is tough to create an original mistake. For everything you think you've done that is unthinkable, the angels reassure us that there have been millions, for centuries, most likely, who have experienced a similar situation. You can count on the fact that you are not the first person to say something unkind to someone you love, cut someone off in traffic, make a terrible dinner for company, or forget an entire paragraph in the critical paper you handed in at work. You're not the first to mess up someone's name, forget an appointment, or get upset at the child or pet you dearly love. You're not the first to spill something on your beautiful outfit right before leaving the house or break something you once held dear. We're all human. We'll all make so-called mistakes no matter how hard we try not to. Sometimes we beat ourselves up as if somehow we, out of the 8 billion people on Earth, should be the one person to be perfect. While striving for that ideal is beautiful, adopting the belief that we must be perfect is pretty painful. I'm speaking from prior experience. I used to think I should be the perfect one. Happily, I'm over that. When you mess up, have a little compassion for yourself. No one in heaven expects us to be the only perfect being on earth. 2. Assess the mess. Bless the mess. Recalibrate and do your best. Some mistakes have more significant consequences than others from a human standpoint. You can be unkind enough to end a relationship. You can have an accident when you don't tend to your vibration. Or you can spill milk because you're rushing around. So-called mistakes come in all sizes. The procedure for dealing with them all is the same: assess the mess. Bless the mess. Recalibrate and do your best. If you make a so-called mistake, try without any drama to assess the results. Okay, I just screwed up that interaction with someone I wanted to impress. Okay, I just got into a fender bender. Okay, I just spilled milk. What is. There's no use getting into a drama about it. Assess the mess. Next, bless the mess. Pray. Dear Divine Source, I just messed up, in my opinion. I know you don't see me this way. Please bring your light into this condition in my heart so I can avoid self-criticism and find the easiest way to resolve the situation. Please bless this mess. Recalibrate and do your best. Just stop before you go into a litany about why you should or shouldn't have done or said or thought something. Breathe. Remind yourself that you are a good person. Remind yourself that you do a lot of good in life. Remind yourself that you do a lot right. Look at the beautiful day. Breathe. You've had many other incidents before that you've resolved. This, too, shall pass. Keep going until you feel better. Then and only then take action. 3. Avoid defensiveness or fight or flight and move forward. When we have not made peace with our humanity, we get defensive. I used to be hard on myself and, therefore, defensive. Now I am okay with myself, so I don't need to defend a thing. I own my mistakes when I make them. I own the consequences and move forward to clean them up or do better next time. If you don't truly own your humanity and have compassion for yourself when you feel less than perfect, you spiral into either fight or flight. Both reactions block our ability to hear our guidance and move beyond the challenge more easily. Better to breathe, own it, recalibrate, and move forward. It is just an old habit to be hard on ourselves. We all know better. We were all trained, to some degree or in some areas of life, to expect perfection of ourselves. Strive for it by all means. Whatever your standards are, try to reach them. But when you don't, simply look at the situation as an opportunity to learn, grow, and do better next time. Be kind to yourself. Have compassion. We're all doing our best. As the angels often say, what we do matters far less than the love we put into it. Have a blessed week, love, Ann.